In my book, Create and Deliver a Killer Product Demo, I already made a 5 steps. 5 steps. Let's go into these 5 steps. So the first step you need is to define your audience. Define your audience or your, as you see it, as your buyer or your buyer persona. The more you can, and that's something that most of sales teams do anyway. I mean, the ones who are doing properly, they define very well who is your buyer, what is their technical level, what are their frustrations, what they like, what they don't like. Yeah, you define that. Based on that, so to really understand um, your buyer, the next step is based on that. In order to convince this buyer, you need to make a list of the best features, capabilities that can influence, can convince this buyer. That list can be 5, 10, even more if you can. So narrow down from all the capabilities. Obviously, you just told me complex software that has hundreds of capabilities. Narrow down to, let's say, 10 of them, the ones that will be more likely to convince the buyer. Narrow down to them. This is the step number 2. Now, step number 3, because we have to work one by one, we have to create one moment and then later another one moment. Pick one, the one that you believe this is the one that might have the biggest impact. Either is your best feature or one of your best features that, yeah, really stands out in your product, or the one that is for this particular prospect buyer might be the right one to show. So you choose now one feature. The next one is now when you have decided what is the feature. Now it's time from brainstorming. Brainstorming, you can do it either alone, but it's even better if you do it with your team, someone from your team, and try to brainstorm unusual ways to present that capability, because there are some obvious ways to do it, but try to stretch. It is where you stretch your creativity. Creativity is something I speak a lot when I talk about, especially in my book. For product demos, need to be creative. Those are the best ones that use creativity. Don't do the same. Don't do the things like the regular ways. You use the creativity into that. So you brainstorm and try to find unusual ways to show that capability. For here, we're going to go a bit further later, because what I have defined it and is there are patterns. So when I have analyzed many product demos, I saw there are some patterns that are repeated among them. There are patterns. So these are the type of moments of patterns that I'm going to discuss a bit later. But once you have one idea, let's say you have discussed with your team, and you say, "Oh, this is really a good idea." The last one is that you work on the details. Work on the details, how to execute that, you can call it delivering, but executing that during the demo. And for that, the details really matter. I know, for instance, in your demo boost series of interviews, they have been also talking about scripts, and this is very related to scripts, because okay, I know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to show the like the example of Steve Jobs. Okay, I have the idea of putting the laptop in the middle of manila envelopes, but then I have to decide exact steps. It's like acting, step by step. What is the best way to show that? Because if I do it quickly in 2 seconds, you're losing the impact.